Yo, sup, traders, how y'all doing? Welcome in, much love, fam. Trav here. I'm gonna assume that you know me. If you don't know me, my name is Travis, and I develop highly profitable trading systems, and turn them into computer-tested models, and that's what we do. So in this video, we're gonna be talking about the ETH trade that I'm in, and what the game plan is for that. So, thanks for tapping in. Welcome in. And let's get to it. So just to show you, I did take this in my paper trading account, but I took it with much bigger size than my personal account. My phone is locked right now. I have a time locking device, but I took a 50 ETH long down here, the tight stop, and it's working, and I'm talking about my plan for this and why I did it. As far as capital management, I'm making money again outside of trading, which is giving me more confidence in my trading. I took 10,000 account, drew it down to 6,500, flipped it to $20,000 with the altcoin shorts, closed them at the bottom, and then flipped along into ETH, and it's working pretty well. And I want to show you how important it is, asset selection, because Bitcoin is red on the day. ETH looks really good though, so a lot of things aren't performing so well. So why ETH? ETH for a number of reasons. Well, first off, the market for a number of reasons. Um, let's look at liquid. There was so much liquidations yesterday. It was ridiculous. Um, it was it was pretty ugly. I guess it's more than 24 hours ago now. So yeah, there was 400 million longs. Actually, the shorts have barely even started to get punished, and funding went very negative. Well, not very negative, but it's negative on most things even. Look, so people are just shorting. And they're shorting in a bad place in the chart to be short, because if we look at the daily, um, here's the others, the altcoins. Selling when price takes an old monthly low and reclaims it is not a good idea. That's a place to long, right? So I personally don't long alts. Same thing with others, or same thing with Total 3, which is crypto market cap excluding Bitcoin and ETH. When we take a monthly low and we reclaim it, that is a long trigger, and it's a place where probably we has a good chance of having a bounce, right? We saw that here, and if we look back, we're gonna see it all the time. Many times, even in the bear. This wasn't the best example, but we never went lower than this wick, and we took off, so it was actually a pretty good example. This one failed. This one never reclaimed. This one led to a huge rally. This one took some time, but led to a huge rally. Huge rally. So I don't need to show you every time, and I've computer modeled this in general. Price taking an old monthly, falling under it, then closing above it is a sign of price is going to reverse somewhat and go higher. So across the crypto markets, we're getting signs of exhaustion and reversal. And if we go to investment assets, we see, well, stock market's pushing higher. No reason to think we're in a major bear market necessarily. Not everything's strong, but there's no reason that Bitcoin and ETH should go to zero right now. So now which asset to trade? Well, I chose ETH for a number of reasons. First, if we just look at the local strength, we see that here I'm going to put on an indicator for relative strength of a stock compared to the total crypto market. So instead of just going through all the coins and showing you, we can see ETH has been above this line. It's been relatively strong compared to what? Compared to the total crypto market. Okay. So ETH has been relatively strong, and we look at Bitcoin has been relatively weak. ENS is something I'd like to trade, but I'm not in there, and I'm pretty much max leverage, so I'm gonna leave it alone. But a lot of things are not relatively strong. Some things are relatively weak, some things are coming back. ETH looks really strong. It's above the line and it's going higher. And then if we look on the chart, um, we did have a weekly sweep and reclaim. We didn't get a monthly sweep and reclaim, but it's in this big monthly fair value gap, which is also a daily fair value gap, which is also a 4-hour fair value gap, which is also a 1-hour fair value gap. A lot of people were looking to be buyers in here. Price, while there was a huge downtrend in the market, all ETH did is just swept the low and came in, swept the low for the third time, and that's when I came in with this big long. Um, Now there's also a fundamental narrative. Something just happened. This is sort of lucky and maybe why the catalyst for it moving right now, but just now in the last hour it says um, the SEC dropped its investigation on ETH 2.0. So the SEC dropped its case. Okay. Now the other narrative that I'm looking for is what? Is the ETF. So there's rotation happening from Bitcoin into ETH, and if we look at ETH BTC, it's up 20%. ETH versus Bitcoin. We see relative strength gaining momentum. Huge move, pullback, pushing up again. And it's because of the ETH ETF that's anticipated. And what that should do is just bring a steady flow of money into the market. And what these ETFs are doing is it's not necessarily mooning Bitcoin and ETH, but it's making the dips a lot smoother. Where last cycle, what we had with Bitcoin and ETH was a huge amount of institutional leverage in Three Arrows Capital, Celsius, BlockFi, Genesis, Gemini Earn, Luna, and instead we have actual a spot funnel. So again, there's no reason to think we're going to see some big ugly liquidation on Bitcoin and ETH. I think we're going to, especially Bitcoin, we're going to see it. Look at what happened once the ETF is out. This looks like as the stock market, right? We're going to see it trade a lot more basically normal. So that's why ETH, we're waiting on the ETF. Okay, what does he say? SEC Chair Gary Gensler sees spot ETFs launching this summer on June 13th. So this was 5 days ago. We actually did approve Ethereum exchange traded products. Partial. Okay, approved 19B4 filings for 8 spots in May, ETFs in May. Okay. Okay, so okay. It might not happen and price would dump, but it might happen. So it says July 2nd, July as early as July 2nd, so that's 2 weeks, right? So I'd like to be positioned ahead of time. Maybe this trade maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, but I know other people want to be positioned too. So let's talk about the trade now. So I told you I started with a huge position. And again, look how much it matters that you, and a really tight stop. Look how much it matters that you um, pick the right asset. Because Bitcoin hasn't even moved, right? And ETH is flying. So my plan here was to start with a huge position and a tight stop, and then not add on very much at all and run my stop super wide. So what I'm gonna do, what my plan is to just leave it alone. I've got tours Wednesday and Thursday, an event Saturday, and hopefully just I'll advance my stop a little bit, maybe to here. I kind of want to leave it alone because we have this big fair value gap that's formed. I want my stop to stay below that. This gap is possibly getting inverted, turning into a fair value gap on the other side. But my plan is to run my stop super wide and to my main advance, if it happens, would be if we take the May and or March high. In either case, if we take it, as soon as we hit it, my stop's coming up, or at least the next day. If we close above either of these, I'm gonna add on and creep my stop up and run them pretty wide. But I still think it's possible to have new all-time highs on ETH this year. I'm reminded of the summers that are slow, but there's rallies that can happen that can surprise people. So I'm not here to say crypto's over. It might be, it might not be. But that's what we're trying. And yeah, I'm out of my shorts and everything else. Pretty anemic moves on a lot of the other stuff. But I mean, I was short Ohm and I closed it at the current price and I'm happy about that. And yeah, I got the most I could out of Ton. They probably go lower, maybe, but I'm happy to just be out and be um, trading ETH. So that's the plan. Just let it ride, no real take profit. Try to run my stop super wide down here and let the price do what it wants to do and move freely and not add on. Now, if I get stopped out, depending on what the market's doing, I might try again, but I might not also. So one trade at a time. I always feel about trading is I'll know it when I see it, and I really felt like I saw it down here. Yeah, actually, I bought at a perfect time. This candle came in and this candle came in, and that I was like, I think I want to get in here. Took a huge position. I knew that I had wanted to be in ETH, but when I saw these candles, that's when well, actually, I was in since last night, and price didn't stop me out. I closed around the price I re-entered, but I saw this push up and I was like, all right, that could be the move. So, hope you find that interesting. Much love and happy trading. Peace and love.